Habari ma Afrika, mimi ni King, ninafuraha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutanzama King Says So. Ladies and gentlemen, let me today address the speech that was delivered by the CIC yesterday. I'm talking about Julius Malema, the president of the Economic Freedom Fighters there in Sharpeville, where he was addressing the masses of Sharpeville, talking about the massacre that happened in 1960 there at the police station, where people led by the PEC were marching there to protest against the dumb bus that was restricting their movements. This is what the African and Dutch people did to us when they were in control. And we must never forget that. Again, when Julius Malema speaks, the entire continent listens. The entire world, for that matter, listens. And of course, there will be some people who will be picking up the negative that he said and everything. Especially now on X, it is trending that Julius Malema once again is saying that song of Kiss the Poor and Kiss the Farmer. And that song is making waves, of course. Elon Musk is not happy about it. Donald Trump was attacked quite a few times, and the reaction is there. It's going viral again. We are waiting to see what is going to be the response from America, from the racist AfriForum Solidarity Movement, and everyone else that wants to divide our country. But in this video, I want to cover what Julius Malema said, and let's listen carefully to how the CIC broke down the current affairs of the political state of South Africa, Paseta, and much more.
We are building skills of education for the Black nation. We are building quality education without colonization. Africa, Africans come together. Oh, Africa.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Says So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're covering the rally, the Sharpeville rally, hosted by the Economic Freedom Fighters. Julius Malema had a beautiful speech that he delivered there, and I want to break that down a little bit for you. For some of you who did not watch the entire thing, it's about 2 to 3 hours long video, including the other members' performances and all of those things. But your boy King went and watched the whole thing just for you so that you don't have to do it. So I'm gonna give you the key points that I would love to highlight on what Julius Malema said. Before we do that, guys, we're having a gala dinner. We're having a gala dinner on the 2nd of May. It's a fundraising gala dinner for the school that we want to build. So we are pleading with you guys, please go on www.paseta.co.za to purchase your ticket. The ticket is only 1,000 Rand. The VIP is only 2,000 Rand. We are going now to the end of March, which means we will be now exactly 4 weeks away from the gala dinner. We have an issue with accommodation. We have an issue with everything. We're trying to organize that everybody must enjoy Kimberley, especially people coming to Kimberley for the first time. We're going to go and see the big hole. I'm organizing another shot left so that you guys can see where the Khoisan did their drawings and everything. Because when you come to the Northern Cape, you expect to see the history of the Khoi and the San people, the Nama people here in South Africa, in the Northern Cape. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to enjoy a presentation, want to network with the people of Paseta, the team of Paseta, maybe you want to get into a partnership with Paseta, make your way to Kimberley on the 2nd of May, 6 o'clock. That's when we'll be having that gala dinner. Don't be late. Don't be late. We're going to start at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for everyone who is performing on that day, everyone who's delivering a speech on that day. We would like to thank each and every one of you who has purchased a ticket so far. Many more names will be dropping this coming month or this coming week. So for those who are not going to be able, obviously, to come to the gala dinner, make sure that you still send your contribution of 50 Rand so that we can make this gala dinner a success. A lot is on stake here to make, every time when black people try to do something, we are always looked at under a magnifying glass that look at them, they are failing, look at them. So there's a lot that is on our shoulders because we are not doing this only for us, but for the future children. So we are trying to make this as much as a success as possible as our first event from Paseta. So thank you so much, everybody. Any information that you need, please go to www.paseta.co.za and we will definitely make sure that you get your ticket there. Guys, I also want to speak about the school that we are assisting with a flushing toilet there in the Eastern Cape. Now we are at let me say stage 2 or the second step of our engagement with the principal. We have now involved the school government body chairperson. So we are busy with those engagements. I told you guys that project is going to unfold a little bit slower because I'm truly focused on the gala dinner. So I'm slowly engaging with them so that we can build that toilet. But best believe that before the end of 2025, we would have done something great for that school. And thank you for everyone who has suggested that we make this move. And thank you for some of you, or the only person that has donated already, Mr. Mike Khadebe. We thank him so much. He's the star of Paseta. Really, if we are captured by Mike Khadebe. He's the one also that started the one pellet campaign where we are asking people to buy only one pellet of bricks for the school. So Mr. Mike Khadebe has captured us. So we thank you so much, Mr. Mike Khadebe, for the type of heart that you have that is truly a Pan-Africanist heart. So I want to jump into this breaking down of the speech of Julius Malema, and for some of you who have not watched it all, I have broke it down into how many pieces? Maybe 6-7 pieces. And I would like us to, break down what Julius Malema is saying. Let's start with the introduction because it's very important for people outside South Africa to know why March 21st. What is this Sharpeville massacre all about? Julius Malema breaks it down nicely for us.
We do not come here to commemorate a so-called Human Rights Day, but to remember and honor the sacrifice of those who fell on the 21st March 1960 at the hands of murderous apartheid regime. We call it Sharpeville Massacre Day because it is a day of struggle and sacrifice, and not a day where opportunists and racists should be allowed to hijack this day to claim that it represents their human rights which has been violated. We call it Sharpeville Massacre Day because to call it anything else is to undermine the memory of those who gave their lives in the struggle against white domination, and it will allow history to be distorted. It was on this day that thousands of black South Africans took to the streets in defiance of the oppressive past laws imposed by the apartheid government. These laws were not just pieces of paper. They were chains that bound our people to poverty, oppression, and the state-sanctioned violence. Led by the PAC, our people courageously stood against injustice, demanding an end to the past law that restricted their movement in their own land. But instead of being met with dialogue, they were met with bullets. Sharpeville was not just a massacre. It was a declaration of war by the apartheid regime against the black majority. It was a moment that exposed the true brutality of white minority rule to the entire world.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, the PAC led a march there in Sharpeville to the police station saying, listen, We don't have our dompas here. Some of them came with their dompas, threw them on the ground. They say, we are not going to move like branded cattle. We are not going to be controlled where we must go, how we must go, and when. And if you look carefully, guys, these people of Cape Independence, what they're trying to do is exactly what the apartheid regime was trying to do. And Julius Malema 100% says that the people who murdered our people that day were never arrested. The police and the soldiers that murdered our people that day were never arrested. And it goes back to what I always say, that South Africans are so tolerant when it comes to the Dutch people, are so forgiving. We are so forgiving as South Africans. But going back to Cape Town, in Cape Town, there's other suburbs where because of the strict security and what is happening there, I mean private security, you can't just walk anywhere you want at certain times. Past 7, 8 o'clock, walking around there, the security will stop and ask you where you are going. It's the same thing that was happening during the apartheid times. So black people were pushed and cornered into what we call a township and the ghetto, for those who would understand it better. And they would not have freedom of movement outside where they were resident. So that's how they managed us like cattle. That I don't know how better to put it. And Julius Malema broke it down for us there. Julius Malema also spoke about the life of a black man does not matter more than the life of a white man. And this is what he said.
The crimes of apartheid, yet the reality of apartheid remains the same, because a white life in this country is worth more than black life. The worth of a white life on South Africa means so much that when there is a death of a white person due to crime that affects us all, it is called a white genocide. Because whenever a white person dies, the whole world must pay attention. Fellow fighters, we must refuse the idea that a black life is so cheap that even our history of sacrifice and resistance can be changed to message, to conscience, to massage the conscience of our oppressors. Our people were massacred by apartheid regime today. The human rights of Africans have not changed ever since those Africans were killed here in Sharpeville in 1960. Our lives remain cheap. Our dignity remains undermined. And we are still disrespected by white supremacists that insist that white people must be comfortable at the expense of black people. And when white people are not comfortable, then black people must be punished with sanctions and isolation.
You know what? When it comes to lives of a black person not mattering, like he says, a life of a black man is cheap. It's like there's no value to a black man's life. The black person can die. It is okay. There's nothing different with that. And a white person's life is more valuable than a black man. I think that is the case also in the black families also. We as black people also must learn how to reprogram ourselves, because we were programmed to say a black person's life does not matter. It's very cheap. It's disposable at any time. I think we as black people should start getting angry when we see one of our own murdered. And not only angry, the people who commit the crime against our own, especially murder, must suffer the consequences. You understand? If I ask you what happened to the police that put his knee on the neck of George Floyd, whatever his name is there in America, and unaliving him with a knee, you probably don't know. You probably don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So many other cases that happened in South Africa where black lives were disposable like trash, and nothing happened after. So Julius Malema is rightfully, pointing that out, and also, where there is no human rights in South Africa for black people. It's very limited. It's only the elite black people who can afford, good lawyers that will have justice in South Africa. There's no human rights. And again, I love what he said when he was doing the introduction. This must never be diluted, because a lot of holidays in South Africa were renamed to suit the multiracial and Rainbow Nation spirit rubbish that South Africa, the ANC, is trying to push. So human rights, Sharpeville's Day, Sharpeville massacre was changed to Human Rights Day, which is rubbish. There was no human rights during apartheid days. And that's what I find it funny when someone wants to reason to me that as black people, we live better during apartheid. It's lazy people that fail to think, and also is black people that don't want to take responsibility of their action and their lives. That's why they rather have a white master tell them where to go, where not to go, where to work, how many children to have, where to stay and where not to eat, like everything, what to study and what not to study. When a person says to me the apartheid was better than democracy, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, how powerful is that system of apartheid, Julius Malema rightfully points out, where was the USA when black people are murdered in numbers?
Yes, equality. Where was the USA when our mothers were fed to pigs in Limpopo by white farmers? Where was the USA with its sanctions when Eugene Terreblanche was raping young boys on his farm before they resisted and killed the racists because no one will act against him? Where were the sanctions of America when a child was shot by a farmer in the Northern Cape for picking a flower on his farm, and we were told that this child was mistaken for a monkey? Where was the international community when the racists at the University of Free State fed our mothers who were domestic workers human waste? Why were our people who were stuffed into a coffin alive in Mpumalanga not offered refugee status in America? Comrades, what does the USA have to say about the murderers of Flag Plus who roam our society today freely and have never accounted for their crimes? Where is the International Criminal Court to prosecute Voter Basson, Dr. Death, who used chemical warfare and medicine to poison and kill anti-apartheid activists? Voter Basson, who committed these human rights violations, is sitting comfortably here in South Africa while victims of his biological warfare, which violated human rights, suffered the consequences and never saw justice. How can we be expected to reconcile with those who have never acknowledged these crimes and were never held accountable for them? How can we be asked to share our land, our resources, and our future with those who still believe that Orania and Volksstad are their birthright in Africa, while the mass graves of our people are ignored? These are the people who have never appreciated with how they came to enjoy their wealth and power.
And even though I agree with Julius Malema, it's like, where was the USA? The USA is numb, is mute, is silent when it comes to crimes perpetuated against black people. Very silent. But again, the question I always ask is, where was our black leaders when these crimes were committed? I think we should ask those things also, because I think our black leaders jump on these crimes, not necessarily speaking about Julius Malema or any black leader. I'm speaking about all of them as an entirety. When something happens, like when those those ladies were unalived and fed to pigs, like, black leaders get angry up until the thing is the court procedures start, and then they remain silent. Then you don't hear anything about them anymore. You understand? It's like, yeah, man, the person is behind bars. the court procedures are happening, then they keep quiet because they don't value black lives as much as they claim they do. Many of our black leaders. So there's nothing we can expect from America. There's nothing you can expect. You can't say, America, where are you when we are getting mad at? We as African people must unite, and we must ask the question to ourselves: is that where are we when we keep on allowing these Dutch people to do as they please with our mothers, with our children, with our brothers, with our sisters? They keep on doing as they please in our country. And Julius Malema, rightfully so, points out that, listen, America was never there for South Africa. Think about it. Except for some individuals there in America, the American government and whatever has never stood up and said anything to rebuke or to speak against the crimes that were happening to South Africans during the apartheid era. They never did. Oh.
America has never helped us with anything, even during apartheid. They cannot threaten us now with sanctions. Everywhere else America goes, you must know, they never go to help those people. They go to destabilize those countries. They did the same thing in Libya. They did the same thing in Iraq. They did the same thing in Afghanistan. Now they want to come to South Africa and destabilize it. We must unite against American imperialism and colonialism. We must not be intimidated by Elon Musk and everybody who stands with him. All those who are offered an opportunity to go to America because there is a genocide against them in South Africa, you are free to go. The borders are opened for racists to leave South Africa. We have no home for racists in South Africa. Our friends will never be United Kingdom. Our friends will never be France. Our friends will never be USA. They were never there for us during difficult time. Palestine was there for us during our difficult time. Palestine associated with us during difficult time. We will always support the people of China, the people of Russia, the people of Venezuela, the people of Haiti, and all the progressives in Cuba who stood with us. Today, even when we are confronted with serious sanctions, we are not scared because we know we are direct beneficiaries of international solidarity. I call on you to continue paying solidarity with the people of Palestine. It doesn't matter what Trump will do to us. We will die next to the Palestinian people. We will be buried next to the graves of the Palestinians.
So we must never be scared of America. I agree with Julius Malema. They have never been there for us till today. They are insensitive to the historical disadvantage. It's like America pretends as if they don't know that apartheid happened in South Africa, as if they don't know that the Dutch people stole land from South Africans, and not only that, took it by force, took it by rape, ironically, that's the same thing that they did to the natives of America. So you don't expect them to stand up for us. You don't expect them to stand up for us. So that's what is happening. That's what is happening. So we must never be intimidated by Elon Musk. That one. We must never be intimidated by him. So because everywhere where America goes, where they send their army, it's just like France. Wherever they send their army, wherever they send, things does not get better. Name one African country, or any country for that matter, in the world where America went there and they solved the problem and everyone was happy. Name one. Maybe I'm misinformed or not well informed, but I don't know of any country that America went there, whether there was a war or rebels or whatever, and America actually solved the problem. I don't know of any. So that's the issue. I want to speak about something else that Julius Malema spoke about, and that's the National Sex Offender Register. There is a register that the Department of Correctional Service has suggested that they want to take out a register of people who have raped, the rape offenders in South Africa. And this is what Julius Malema said about that.
We want the National Sex Offender Registry to be publicized with immediate effect. Every man who was found guilty of rape, his name must be on the internet. There are 32,500 convicted sex offenders. We must put them in public so that they don't get jobs that have got to do with working with children. We must protect our children.
Okay, guys, I understand the sensitivity of these sex workers, these sex offenders getting work to work with children. Like if a teacher once raped a child, that teacher must never find a job again that is related to working with children. Never. Cannot be trusted. Cannot. I totally agree with that. But some of us who are men, we have said, we have had, personally, I've had friends who was accused of rape, arrested because of that, and years later the girl sends a message saying, no, I was angry, that's why I said that. Those women who do that must also, their names must also appear on that rape offender or false accused, whatever. And then the question then becomes, where do we stop? Where do we stop? If we are going to advertise these criminals' names and put them in a register where everyone can just Google and find those things, where do we stop? Do people who beat their women, their wives, is that also something that must not be be advertised publicly, so that we know no King talks too much on YouTube, but his wife once opened a case against him and he is on that list? You understand? Again, if women could also use rape as a weapon to attack a man, false rape as a weapon to attack men, is that also not going to be another case where some people are on that list wrongfully? You understand? People who steal at work. I don't know, man. Where do we stop? Murderers, are we not supposed to know who are the people who are murdering us? If we know who raped our sisters, children, and mothers, are we not supposed to know who murdered them? Where do you stop? Where do you stop? Where do you start? Where do you stop? Is my issue, and it looks like they want to start with the sexual offenders and build from there. But for me, I'm not sure how to feel about that one. I want people to be exposed. I wish there could be a much clearer thing that is this data going to be open to the entire public or to people who inquire about it, like employees or something like that. I don't know because I wonder if that list has to be taken out. Here in my block, here where I stay, how many rapists are there? How long was it? How many false accused? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? It's very deep. The expropriation bill is something, again, the land expropriation bill is something that Julius Malema covered also. The EFF is very much passionate about expropriating land and all those things. So I would like us to listen also to what Julius Malema said about the expropriation bill and hijack buildings.
Comrades, Ramaphosa has signed something called Expropriation Act. He is pretending to be expropriating land. That is nothing else except the fact that they were trying to align that act with the current constitution. We don't support that act in its current form. We support expropriation, but we don't support compensation. And we are going to continue to fight in Parliament to ensure that we expropriate land without compensation by amending Section 25 of the Constitution. Ramaphosa says the act is going to help him to expropriate hijacked buildings. We don't want hijacked buildings. They are rotten. We want a fertile land. We must expropriate the mines. We must expropriate the farms. We must expropriate land that is of value to us, not a rotten land. What do we do with the rotten land? This is our land. It was stolen from us. We are going to get it back, whether Ramaphosa likes it or not. The day will come where we'll put the flag of the EFF firmly on the land of the Republic of South Africa.
Yeah, listen, I think when it comes to expropriation, the EFF is one of those parties that get it the way I get it. The way I get it. I cringe when I hear someone speak about expropriation and does not speak about farms and mines. It's like you're wasting my time. If you want to expropriate, you better be talking about the profitable land, the land that can be used for farming. Yes, some of these old buildings must be, these hijacked buildings must be brought back into the custodianship of the state, because of course we can't allow people to just hijack buildings and do as they please, and people to leave property unattended for many years. I agree that of course that must be attended to, but speak the language that we want to hear. We want to hear you that you are going to take someone else's farm. Why? Because that someone else took the farm from someone else, and we're going to give the farm back to the original owner. We cannot negotiate with land thieves. That is the important thing that I want to hear from expropriation bill, and I think the EFF, of course, touches it properly, and the CAC speaks very well. It's not easy. It's not easy because once you are a fearful president, you will always be scared of what the international market would say. You'll always be scared. But we have seen what happened in Niger. I mean, Niger is one of the best examples to say when we're talking about what is that mineral again? Not magnesium. Not cobalt. I'm just forgetting the name, but you guys know that in Niger the French was buying I'm forgetting this mineral's name. They were buying the mineral at 80 cents and selling it at $200 or 200 euros rather. And once the Niger army took over the mines also, they started opening a profitable market of over billions of rands, and that's how Niger managed to float, because they are owning their minerals now. The same goes with South Africa. If South Africa takes back its mines, South Africa takes back, especially the mines, never mind the farming that much, because farming contributes less than 5% of the GDP, so it's not that much. But when it comes to the mining contributes a much higher percentage, and that the mining can make or break our country. That is what is very important when it comes to expropriation. We want to know, are you going to take the land that has got minerals underneath it? That's very important. Okay, so Julius Malema spoke about many things, about our soldiers coming back from the DRC, the conflict in the DRC, and he's saying to the people of Sharpeville, you guys will never get any service delivery up until you join the EFF, because when you picket with small numbers. You need the EFF to come there and show you the right way of picketing. He also spoke about one branch consisting of 200 members in good standing. So if you are a leader and you don't have a branch in good standing, they're going to fire you. The EFF does not play like that. He also raised the issue about the flushing toilets and everything, and I think you guys know that that's something that is in my heart for 2025. So that's basically what Julius Malema said. He covered many other things that he covered. He also said to Zimbabweans, go back to Zimbabwe and go and fight your president there, and things like that. He covered so many things. But again, what was highlighted was Julius Malema singing the famous song that Alien Musk loves so much, and AfriForum loves so much, and everyone loves so much. I asked the question: is singing the song of AfriForum, does it improve the numbers of the economic freedom fighters? Listen to me, my fighters, before you start typing your answers on the comment section. When the CIC sings the song, and I know the CIC is not a coward, and I know the CIC was cleared by the court, there's nothing wrong with singing the song. There's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong and misquote me on the comment section. I'm asking, when the CIC sings the song, do you think it gets the EFF more votes, or does it continue with the propaganda of a machinery being used against the EFF, because the song is still being sung even by black people? Black people who actually understands that this is a struggle chant, is a struggle song. It's not necessarily meant literally or anything like that. The statistics have shown that the song does not correlate with anything that has to do with farm matters or anything like that. But I'm asking you, do you think that now the CIC, because of the pride that he has, and of course saying, listen, I'm not in the wrong, the courts have said I can sing this song, the people of South Africa understand it. AfriForum takes clips of that whole event. AfriForum will obviously take that own clip and spread the negativity about South Africa, about the EFF, about the CIC and all of those things. Not that the CIC cares anyway. And do you think that brings more voters, more black voters to the EFF? That's what I was asking yesterday on the live. Does that song, have any value of benefit to the EFF? Or are we just now singing it just to show the people that we can sing it? Because the youth of today, they are disconnected. They don't understand that what you must do to the farmer. Our youth are so disconnected to politics. The older people that sing the song understand the song, and of course they relate to the song and everything. But does it benefit the EFF? That's the question I'm asking. Meaning, after you sing the song, do you gain one vote? Or do you just give an environment where now we have to listen to AfriForum, we have to listen? You're just giving fuel to the fire to all of these racist people. If you say, King, I don't care, we are not getting any more votes, we are not here to please AfriForum, we are not here, whatever, I'm okay with that. I'm just asking, I'm just posing the question. Do you think singing the song benefits the EFF on the ballot paper? If the answer is yes, Ukraine. If the answer is no, Ukraine. I'm not saying anything. I'm just posing the question to you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the CIC speech. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.